Okay, let's get into the stock market technical analysis. I think there's some things happening in the market that I really want to point out. It's a good time to put out a video. So if you guys find value in the content, please drop me a thumbs up. If you guys are interested in getting additional trade ideas, charts, market insights, I'm looking at the markets pretty much all day and I'm pointing out various trade setups, trade concepts that I'm seeing in the markets at the time that I'm seeing them. And I'm posting those to the private member group. Link in the description below. $5 a month, cancel anytime. The most risk you've got is $5, all right? And if you want to continue, great. All right, let's get into it. Triple Qs and Nvidia are the big ones that I'm watching. Nvidia being kind of major. So I'm on a daily chart right here. Well, let me flip over there, daily chart. And if you roll back all the way to really when the Nvidia rally started back in October of 2022, that's basically when Nvidia started. I mean, yeah, it's been rallying for a while, obviously, but in the short term, back in October of 2022, that's when the AI hype really started. Here's what we got on that daily chart. We have, let me kind of zoom in. We have a trend line to watch. There's the first reaction, all right? And then once that reaction was established, you had that one. So there's there's two, and then if you roll out, you can see recently we've got 3, 4, and then zooming in, 5 right there. 5 reactions on that trend line. And if I zoom in even closer to today's price action, you can see what we got going on. We are breaking that trend line, all right? Now, the day's not over. There's an hour left in trading, so it's very possible the buyers might step in and save this thing, and that's what I'll be watching for. But as of right now, this is a break of trend and a sell signal. So if this remains intact, you've got a long-term trend line that's been in place for almost 2 years now, is breaking. So I see significant downside on Nvidia over the coming basically months if we start to break trend. So what I've got, first reaction, I mean, there's a little bit of support right here. You can see it's right about in there, but that likely won't hold for very long. You might get a little reaction, but in general, you break that, you should head down to the 200-day moving average. Okay, now if this is just a whipsaw and they're just going to break it down just to recover it maybe tomorrow, because it is holiday trading, you can see whipsaws, then you would just stop out. So in general, take the short, take the sell signal for what it's worth, provided that we closed down here. I think we're going to close down around this 132.46, and that would be your sell signal. And then if they recover the trend line, maybe they gap up or something like that. They float out some sort of AI news. They like to do that kind of stuff in the after hours, and you gap up back up to the trend line. Then this was a false breakdown, and you'd stop out. All right, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Risk reward. We never know if the trade's going to work, but we take what's in the charts and manage risk. And as of right now, that's a sell signal with significant downside. This is basically signaling a top in Nvidia if we start to break trend. Okay, so that's that. And again, we've been building this divergence for such a long time that I mean, look at this negative divergence. Momentum has been dropping off. Each new high, we're doing that on less and less momentum. So it tells me this breakdown is the real deal. Or if they pop it back up and make it look like a recovery, it will be very short-lived and it will essentially break down. The momentum's been dropping off, so there's really no momentum in Nvidia recently. And if you go back and you look, I mean, we peaked here back in June, kind of traded lower, and then we've just barely been able to get over those highs, basically chopping sideways. I mean, we've gone up from that high point, a total of about 7-8%, and that's about it for months now, and we've kind of topped out. So we're seeing a break of trend line support today. All right, that's a sell signal. You get the sell signal in Nvidia, it's very probable, especially if the Nvidia continues to sell off, you're going to see the rest of the tech stocks follow. Okay, triple Qs. Again, triple Qs, No real change today. You obviously have this bearish rising wedge. We've been rising with negative divergence. It's been building. So again, short setups typically build for a while and then they trigger very quickly. And that's why the downside is very quick and it usually drop a lot more than you go up. So we grind higher in this bearish rising wedge for quite a while, months now, and then I do think we will break down and start to just take out all these gains in a very short period. Probably a matter of 4 or 5 days, you'll wipe out months worth of gains. So that's what I'm seeing as of right now. Still within the top of the bearish rising wedge. Looks like we just recently hit resistance and we're starting to get sold into. So heading down to very likely to probably about this 515.20 for today. Well, I don't know about today, maybe tomorrow, but down there, and then that will be support. And then we need to break support. You need to break this lower trend line here, kind of this wedge, for the more major sell signal in the triple Qs. So that's all we have there. Here's the S&P 500. Again, this one broke trend. It's just been backtesting, but on the S&P 500, on the SPY at least, big negative divergence, been building. Put in a bearish rising wedge, broke the wedge, backtested once, and they kind of were grinding higher, made it look like it was going to backtest again, didn't quite get there. Created a secondary support line here, and that's breaking right now today as well. So sell signal there on the SPY, provided that they don't buy it up into the close. All right, that's always a caveat. FITB, again, looks like a great short setup. Still has not really triggered. On this one, big bearish rising wedge on the daily chart. Big negative divergence, giving us indication that the trend change is likely and very soon. And then you can see broke trend on the right before the election. They, whipped it back up, still within the wedge. And today and yesterday closing right on support. So, and you can see today they kind of broke it down, and then the buyer stepped in, and it's still holding support. So, might be another leg up. It's hard, we might break down. It's hard to say, but we haven't broken down yet, so there's no sell signal. So still, that one's still on watch. Okay, Palantir. I've been posting about this one in the private member group. Little more work to do, but it definitely looks like it's about to break. On this one, Palantir, you have negative divergence just started to show up on the daily chart. So you do have that now. Here's the trend line I've been watching on the hourly chart, and we're starting to crack it. Not completely broken yet, so we'll see. I mean, I think it's going to go, but it's just a matter of, do we get that close and where does it close at? Also on Palantir on the daily chart yesterday, bearish engulfing candle. So that's a topping stick. So the way you trade it is when you see the bearish engulfings, especially if you have divergences, and especially when you get the definitive sell signal, because a bearish engulfing is not really a sell signal. We need to see breaks of support. So I need to see really this trend line break. Once you get that break in the trend line, just set your stop above that bearish engulfing and let that thing run. Again, this one's gone almost parabolic, so it could easily come down pretty sharply as well. Yeah, and so it looks like it's starting to break. We'll see how we close the day. One potential target on this one, if you roll out, you've got a more longer term trend line way down here where you've got lots of, some reactions down there. So I think you could come down to that trend line for a push down. And to wrap up, here's your semiconductor index. Again, very heavily weighted with Nvidia in there, but it really just goes to the AI hype, because that's really what's kind of carrying the market, is this AI hype. And on this one, you've got support, there's another reaction, there's another one, and we broke support. I have it circled. That was a sell signal. So we backtested once, backtested twice. You can see rejected, big sell down today. So more selling from here will really start putting that nail in the coffin with the definitive breakdown and sell signal in the semiconductors. So, and again, it's not going to happen without Nvidia. So the main thing is, if Nvidia triggers the sell signal, you're probably going to start to see the rest of the semiconductors really start to sell off as well. And a lot of them already have sold off quite a bit. It's really just Nvidia has been holding this thing up. Okay, I'll get the video out there. Drop me a thumbs up on your way out. Catch you guys on the next one.